It is a lovely day for a webinar, isn't it, Hannah?
Yes, it is.
I was just thinking today, what would be better than hosting a webinar for all the wonderful people that use our software for vending and do all of the things? I
Yeah,
mean, right?
absolutely. It is a perfect Thursday.
It is a perfect Thursday. So I am so excited for this webinar. And it's not, Hannah, because I'm a vending nerd. Now, you and I both know I am a vending nerd, but um, it's because I believe in what we do, you know?
Yep,
We help
absolutely.
people serve kids food,
Yes.
meals, a la carte, all the things. And, Hannah, it's going to be a great webinar. I feel it.
Yes.
I feel
Yes.
it today. We've got tons of attendees that are joining us today, and you guys are all here to come to VendNoWhat from our new Vending Excellence series. I want to welcome everyone to the webinar today. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so happy to be here. We're going to start off by telling you a little bit about us today and who we are, what we do. This is me on a really good hair day. Hannah, that looks good, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, I really need to make that happen again. So I was a director for 11 years in the great state of New Hampshire, and now I am the executive vice president of operations at Vend-ucation. And Vend-ucation is the hardware provider for all things vending for K-12 schools. We are fantastic, wonderful, and we love what we do. We get to work with Hannah and VendNovation, who provides all of our software support that helps us connect to our point of sale systems. Hannah, tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm from Seattle, Washington, born and raised here. Go Huskies. I've been with VendNovation for about 1 year now. And my job is to assist everyone in training for the VendNovation software and just support throughout the vending experience. There's always things that come up, and I really, like Amanda said, love what I do. I appreciate all of you for everything that you do for our child nutrition programs. As a mom of three, I can greatly appreciate all of the work that everyone puts in. So thank you all for everything. I know there's a lot that goes into that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Hannah. So a couple of just housekeeping items here, folks. We are recording this session for perpetuity because people are going to want to watch this over and over and over again. We understand. So if you guys have any questions, we fully want to hear them. We want to hear what your questions are about your specific school. We want to hear about your questions, any kind of question. So go ahead and use that chat feature. We have a chat feature where you can chat us directly, and we also have a Q&A feature. We'll move to the Q&A after Hannah gives us a little walk through the VendNovation software system, and I'm really excited for that. So if you have any questions, you just let us know. But before we get started, we're going to do a little poll. Hannah, you didn't know I had a poll, did you?
No, I didn't.
All right. Well, I would just like to know, folks, you tell me, who are you? What do you know? Are you brand new? We want to know what we've got to work with here. We want to know what is the level of vending excellence or vending newness to the system here today. And oh my gosh, you guys are quick with those responses. Hannah, you're going to be really excited because guess what? You've got some newbies here. A lot of people who are new to this whole process, which makes sense because we have had so many orders going out in the last little bit. And something Hannah and I like to do, especially for a couple of people who are actually on here, for a couple of you folks, you may not have even gone into VendNovation yet because we set it all up for you. Because we do that sometimes. So this is a great overview of actually what we'll be looking at together and the different functionalities of that back office system. Now, You might not have to go into this back office system. You might be going into it every day. We don't know. So if you have any questions specifically to what applies to you and your job, please let us know and go ahead and put that in. But Hannah, most of these folks are total newbies, so they are just ripe for all of your knowledge. Are you ready to start sharing that with them?
Sounds good. Let's go. We're on a
All
journey.
right.
Okay, I'm
Go
gonna,
ahead, Hannah. Take it away.
okay, let's see. Where is my, um, give me 1 second too. Having a computer issues today. It's not showing me my,
Oh, I see it. Oh, I saw Hannah, you took it away. You
I
you got me
did.
all excited and just gave me a tiny, tiny box. Go ahead and make sure you're hitting entire screen when you're sharing that screen so we just don't get the small one.
Okay, where, let's see. It's not here, Amanda.
All right, well, guess what, Hannah? That means I'm driving. So here we go.
Let's see. You know what? Let's be Farmingdale today, Amanda.
Ooh, that's fantastic. Let's be Farmingdale, who perhaps might also be on this call. Let's take a look at what they're doing today. And this is one of the things that I will say is when you guys work with us, we have the ability to look at everyone all the time, which is pretty fantastic. So we have the ability to diagnose all of your machines for you. Go ahead, Hannah.
Okay, so Farmingdale is wonderful. They are accepting cash, credit cards, and student accounts. So here, Amanda is at the machine view. So all of our machines are here. They're all beautiful and healthy and online. So if they are not connecting to our server, they will be red, and we need to take care of that. So they're all looking good here. For each machine, you can see under the name, there is the date and the time. So that is the last time that the machine has connected to our server. Every time a student is making a transaction at the machine, it's connecting to the server and going to the POS system. So let's say the student is in class where they're supposed to be and not buying snacks and treats at the machines. The machine is still going to connect with the server every 30 minutes. So I will say if you make any changes, if you're switching products in your planogram or any other settings, you will need to wait that 30 minutes for those settings to update, or you can power down the machine and then power back on. To the right of each machine, we can see there's a red ribbon. That is the number of alerts that are on each machine. So Amanda, let's go ahead and look at the first machine at the top there, the common strength left. So here is where, let's say you're just starting out and we are trying to rename machines. They'll typically say something like machine one, they'll just have a generic name. So under that green default account button at the top there is where we can rename the machine there. So you can choose whatever you'd like, whether it is cafeteria or hallway or gym. That will help you identify which machine we're working with. And what else did we do here? At the bottom, that yellow box there, that yellow section is the alerts. So this is a great point of reference for you to come to if there's something going on with your machine and you're not sure what it is or who you need to reach out to. This is a good place to look and kind of get an idea of what is going on. You can always shoot Amanda or myself an email and we will figure it out. If you do change your machine name here, we will hit save changes in the bottom right. And we don't really want to mess with anything else here. It's just settings. We want to make sure everything's working fine. So yeah, go ahead and close out of there.
Hannah, can we talk about this for a second though? Can we talk about how someone changed the name in their machine in their point of sales and then said, hey, it's not working. It's not accepting account purchases. And we said, well, it was snack, but now you change it to snacks.
Yeah. Yes. So every letter, every digit counts. I believe that was a Mosaic setup. So Mosaic said that if you change the machine name in Mosaic, then we need to match the machine ID in VendNovation. So let us know any changes that you make in your POS system. We need to match it on our side. It is best to name the machines the same as you have them named in your POS system, just so that we can all, we're on the same page, basically.
Hannah, while we're still on the screen, tell me what's this number here?
Ooh, fancy P-Rose. So the P-Rose number is essentially a serial number that is assigned to the control board inside the machine. So again, if you're starting out and, Farmingdale, we have all of the machines are named already. We know which is which. But if you're starting out and you have those generic names and you're not sure which machine is which, once you power your machine on for the first time, it will take about 30 to 60 seconds. And then that P-Rose number will pop up on the screen. So we really need the last 4 digits of that number.
So, Hannah, if anyone has a newer machine,
Yes.
here is your control board. When you open up that unit, you should have this little sticky note. And this little sticky note is going to give you the serial number for your control board. So this is very important that you are labeling your machine in VendNovation the correct P-Rose. So you want to make sure that the one that snacks is this 16555 number, because when things get crossed, which also happened to us last week, Hannah, and students were being charged for a beverage instead of for a reimbursable meal because we had the machines crossed. So you can find this P-Rose, again, Hannah said, as you're starting up that machine. It's also on the actual unit itself.
Perfect. Some of them aren't there, so that's why we like those stickers. They make me happy.
I always leave the stickers on, Hannah. I always leave them on.
That's why we love you. Yeah, so the P-Rose is very important to identify which machine is which. So that will help us label them. So there are other directions. If you would like, we can, let's see, if you tap the star key 3 times consecutively, let's say your machine is already powered on, we can tap that star key and it will also populate. So we just need the last 5 digits and that will help us figure out which machine we're working with and name it accordingly. Let's see, what else?
Let's talk about products, Hannah.
Yes.
So I got my machine, it's delivered. I've made sure that, this P-Rose is connected to this machine. So, and just to back it up, guys, so when you get your unit, you're going to have a serial number for that machine. So that's like the actual hardware. That's going to tell me that you got what machine you got in terms of hardware. But when you're in here, you're not going to be looking for that hardware piece. This is what's the brain. This is the brain inside the unit. So this is really what we want to take a look at. But I will tell you this. Here is all right, I was pointing at this DEX cable. It's very exciting. But here's where you would find the serial number for your unit. So if you're speaking with me or someone from service and they're saying, hey, what's the serial number for the unit? We're looking for this. If you're talking to Hannah and she wants to talk about the P-Rose, she wants to talk about the software. She wants to talk about the brain. She wants to talk about that sticker down here or finding that over there. Right, Hannah?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now I've got my machine. I know that they're all routed correctly. I've got the correct names for the brains. I got to put some products in here. How do I do that?
Absolutely. So first, Amanda, let's look at our product list. So let's go to products, down to products again. And then this will show us everything that we have imported in VendNovation. So this should match exactly what is in your POS system. We can see, and in the center here, we have the product name. So Farmingdale has chose to use generic names, which is wonderful for flexibility. Their first product is Vend 25 cents, and then it goes kind of down the price points there. This allows us to, let's say you can use the Vend $1 product and put that in multiple slots, and then you can use whatever items you have on hand. So for example, that might be Doritos, that might be pretzels, that might be fishy crackers. So you can use whatever product is $1 and just plug it in there. We know that supply is not always guaranteed, so that flexibility is beautiful.
Hannah, did you just say fishy crackers?
I did say fishy. I'm a
Okay.
mother. Yeah.
All right. I just
I
wanted to
did.
make sure.
You confirmed. You caught me.
Hannah, I love this. I love this because this prevents people having to make changes in the back office. We want people to set up their software in VendNovation, and then we want you to do what you do, which is operate your program. We do not want you to have to come back and make changes. Now, if you're one of our special districts that does want to track individual items, I want to know that in this selection number is Doritos Cool Ranch, and I want to know that in this selection is Doritos Flamas. You can absolutely do that. And you just need to make sure that if there's a change being made in the field, that it gets reflected back here, or else your paperwork is not going to be correct. And I care about your paperwork, I really do, but we care about the pricing for the kiddos a little bit more, because they're the first ones that are going to point the finger and say, hey, you overcharged me.
Yep.
Hannah, something else that I love about this is that this beautiful word here, and that's vend. You know why, Hannah?
Yes,
Tell them, everybody.
That tells our parents that we are specifically purchasing items at the machine and not the cafeteria line. So it makes that distinguished difference.
And I always say, if it prevents one parent phone call, it was worth the effort.
Absolutely.
Additionally, when we label our products as vend, when we scroll down, we can then see everything, if as long as it's in alphabetical order. Some point of sales aren't. They're all grouped together, which I really like. One of my favorite districts, Mr. Alan Bryant and Enrico, says he does a hybrid of generic items like $1 chips and $2 diet soda. Alan is special, and he runs a very tight ship down there. But for the most part, this is normally what we see, Hannah, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that if you say vend chips, that gives us a better idea, a little more specific on, if they were buying chips or cookies. So it's still generic. You can put whatever chips are at that price point, but it gives you a little bit of a better idea on what the students are purchasing. So
Hannah,
no
we have one question that I think is very fitting for this section, and I want to answer it before we go off. Okay. So this question says, what if you have different pricing for students and non-students? And that has to do with this price right here. So can you tell people what this price means?
Yes. So the pricing that we have set here in VendNovation is for, essentially it's the cash price or the credit card price. So this price, if a student is making a transaction, they're using their student account, this will be, the POS system will override this price. So we could have it set at $1,000. And if it's, let's say, a reimbursable meal, the POS system is going to know it's not actually $1,000. It's going to be free. So the POS system is the boss. What we have set here is, like I said, only for cash and credit. So we're not dialing into the POS system for those transactions, and that is what is set here.
So I think important to note as well is if you have two-tiered pricing set in your system for credit card transactions. So if you have it set to the 10-cent surcharge if a student uses Apple Pay, or a 10-cent surcharge if they're using a credit card, a debit card, Samsung Pay, Venmo, whatever that might be, that is not included here. So for in the question here, what is there, if there's different pricing for students and non-students, you are going to put the non-student pricing here. If an adult, I'm sorry, if a student wants student pricing, they will have to use their account. They will have to go through your point of sale, because we don't want our teachers to be able to come up to here and buy a lunch for $2.50.
Correct.
So here we're putting all of our adult pricing. If you're giving a discount to students, they will have to validate that they're a student by putting in their ID number and their birthday, or scanning their barcode. They will have to identify that they're a student. Thus, that would go through your point of sale, and whatever you have set up for student pricing will charge that student for that reduced pricing.
Exactly. Okay. What else, Amanda? Let's see. So you probably on the screen wouldn't do too much unless you wanted to change the price of an item, perhaps. We can go ahead and click on, let's say just the first one, Amanda, Vend 25. You click on the product name. It brings up this box, and in the top right corner there, you can adjust the price. So, and then you'll save your changes, and then that will modify in the system. And we're going to close out here. Let's see. I will also talk about the item number. This is specific to VendNovation system, so it does not need to match anything in your POS system. And it really could be anything, just not the same. They all have to be different, obviously. But I get a lot of questions about that. And let's look at the UPC over here. So the UPC number is also referred to sometimes as a product ID. And this is assigned in your POS system. So this needs to match, your POS system needs to match VendNovation with the UPC. That's actually how the two systems communicate the transactions of each item. So this is a long, let's see, it looks like we're working with Mosaic here. I think Primero uses it like a 3-digit, it's really whatever you set, but it has to match there. Unless you are using Titan, you need a UPC or a product ID number. That's very important, or these transactions will not go through. Titan uses their own planogram. So whatever you have set up in their planogram and each slot number, we just go off of that. So Titan is special. We love it. Everyone else, we need a UPC number. And let's see, what else would we do here? If you wanted to get rid of some items, maybe you're not going to offer those anymore. We have this wonderful little trash can all the way to the right of each item. And when we trash that product, it's actually going to go to the graveyard, which sounds very ominous, but essentially what it's doing is just putting that item in the background. We just don't have to look at it. If you wanted to bring it back later, you could go to that graveyard button and restore it. So other than that, we wouldn't do too much here. Let's go back to machines and down to machines again. Now that we've looked at all of our products, we can, let's see, we'll work with the Commons Drink Left machine, that first one there. And to the left of each machine is that little icon. It looks kind of like a calendar. And we'll click on that. This is our planogram. So this is the map of where the products will be in the machine. All of those gray numbers that go down the left side there, those are the slot numbers themselves. And when you're first starting out, all of these are going to say unassigned. So let's say next to slot 10, it would say unassigned. This one, we already have products assigned because Farmingdale is wonderful. And
Can we back up for a second, Hannah? Can we just back up? So someone asks a question, and it's a good question. What's a planogram? That's a great question. The planogram is the back office physical layout of what you're seeing at the unit, okay? So let me find a good picture. Okay, so let's look at this unit. This is one of my favorite units. This is Paris High School in California. Here is the unit. And in the unit, each selection, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, goes to a product. Now, we need to take all of these numbers, and you will have seen that in the configuration that I did for you guys. So whatever configuration we put together, you will have, here's an example of one. So whatever configuration, if you guys remember this kind of document that I sent to you, I gave you the selection numbers in here. And I told you what item we decided to put in there, right? So this is a beverage unit. Here's your dry snack unit. Your chips were number 10. Your trail mix was number 40. Now we have to go into a planogram and put in what items these route to. Now, depending on your point of sale, it looks a little different. So for example, if you have Mosaic, you can mute Hannah for the next 3 minutes. Right, Hannah?
yes.
Because you don't have to do this part. But if you have most of the other point of sales, you are going to have to tell VendNovation, or if you have Mosaic, but you're taking cash or credit cards, we need to tell this software that when a child hits 10, what to charge.
So Amanda, I think we're talking about Titan, right? Titan is the one that does not need a planogram on our side.
Titan does not need a planogram. And Mosaic needs a planogram. You're right. Hannah, this is why you're the software expert and I'm the expert on the machines.
Well, you're pretty good at both, but
thanks, sweetie. Thanks. I think
yes.
my boss is on this call. Jim,
Yeah.
you hear that?
You hear that? Amanda's amazing. But yes, yeah, I mean, Titan for sure. We do not need a planogram on our side unless you are accepting cash or credit, because those prices come from our end, not from Titan. Everyone else, we need planograms. We like to map it all out.
Okay. So they would go in here and they would drop this down and change this. Don't worry, Alessandro. I see you were on the call. I just texted you. I'm not going to touch anything. And if anything's wrong tomorrow, you can wake me up and I promise I'll fix it. This is where they would make those changes if they had a change in the unit.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
One more thing, let's see while we're here. If there is let's say you're assigning products to your planogram here, and you assign everything and you get to number 19, and then you say, I have a 20. I need to put a product in slot 20, but it's not here. We can edit this arrangement here. So first, you would save your changes. That's important. So whatever you've worked on thus far, go to the bottom right there and save your changes. And then on this blue strip, we go all the way to the right of the screen is the edit layout button. So we're going to click on that. And this just lets us know that we're going to make changes. We're just going to continue. This is where we wanted to save what we've already worked on. I've done that before where I lost all of my work. It's not fun. And so this is the map. So all of these green slots are active, and then all of the white ones are inactive. So if we wanted to, let's say, like we said, we got to slot 19 and we said, hold on, we need to add another beverage in 20, but it's not here. We can add that and save our changes. So once we save that, then we'll be able to assign a product to that slot. It'll be active. So you can manipulate, some, for the most part, from the factory, they're pretty good at setting everything according to how the machine is configured, but we are all human and sometimes there's discrepancies. So we can always fix it. That's the good news.
Just making sure I didn't mess this up.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, we're good.
you're good. We're going to hear from Alessandra later. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. It would be the same process for you to assign a new product. And then if you were to change the item, so let's say slot 10, it's Vend 150, and we wanted to change it to a $2 item, we would just click on that product. And what I usually do is, Amanda, go ahead and click on Vend 150 there in slot 10, or yeah, that works. So what in this left field here, I'll put V for Vend and then hit enter. And all of your products will show up here. So you can just select which one you would want to change that slot to and then save it and you're good to go. So you can always move stuff around. Let's see, while we're here also, I will mention all the way to the right of each of these items is we see the currently section. And for that first one, it says negative 102. I always say, Amanda, we don't like to see negative numbers as adults. So some people will freak out when they see that, but this is not going to harm anything. We don't typically use these for schools. So this would be if, let's see, I have a school a college that they don't have any cafeteria staff on site. But they want to know before they go to, let's say, re-up their machine, how much is in there. So they would manually update that currently section. If they put 10 bags of chips in there and then a student buys one, it'll go down to 9, so on and so forth. So they can kind of come here and reference this if to know what they need to stock in their machine without actually going to that location.
Oh wait, so Hannah, I never knew that. So I could go to this machine right now and take a look and say there's 6 units in this machine. And then I can go on my merry way, and then it's going to deduct every time that vends so that I'd be able to come in here and see what's live in that unit, correct?
Yes.
That's so cool.
So most schools don't use this, but I do get a lot of questions on that because they'll see that negative number. And like I said, we don't like that. So it is there if you'd like to use it. But for the most part, we are using our point of sale reporting and VendNovation to keep an eye on our machines. So,
but Hannah, this is great for our sites that are remote. So we see a lot of people using this for like their technical school where a driver is going out there and they want to be able to see in the morning how many items are left in all of those slots. So this is something that people are using. Hannah, one question that's come in is what if an item states disabled? I don't think I've ever seen that.
disabled. So that would be, so what we probably need to do at that point is run a motor count to the machine. Amanda, you can probably speak better on this, but the machine is, if you run a motor count, it's going to just count each slot and which one is enabled. And yeah, right? Let's see.
I'm sorry, Hannah. I wasn't listening. I was replying to Alan from Enrico and looking at the question queue. What did you need me for? If you run a motor count?
Yes. So if you see a slot that's disabled,
Yep.
we can run a motor count and then that will determine all of the motors that are active. So
Yeah,
we
so
need,
this one says an item is disabled. So is it when we have a product, maybe are they talking about when a product goes to the graveyard? Is that what they're saying, maybe?
I've never seen an item be disabled. So is there, if we could see an image, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Natalie, send us an image of what you're talking about. Screenshot that next time. We'd love to see specifically what you're referencing. All
Absolutely.
right.
Let's see what is next in this lovely production. We can, let's see. So we talked about planograms and we've looked at our products. Let's go to reporting. The first report here, let's go to sales summary, Amanda. So this is going to give us a breakdown of all of the sales collectively of each machine. So all of your machines, whether it's across all of the schools, different locations, just for your district, or you just have two machines in one school, everything will be in this report. So Amanda, let's go to the start date. Let's manipulate that. We're going to go back to, let's change it to January 1st. And then, yeah, so now we've got January, so get report. And we can see that we have the total cash sales, the total credit card sales are there, the total account sales, and then all the way at the right is combined. So it gives you just a breakdown of everything. If you see all the way to the right, there's that automate account view, that button there. If you click on that, you will be able to automatically send this report to yourself and your friends who also care. And let's see. So
I
you
don't
would
have any friends that will also care about this report, but
no, they have friends, Amanda. But yes, you can. So Amanda, click on that automate account view button.
oh, I've never clicked this button before.
Yeah. So you can send the report now. You can choose, I think most schools will do it weekly is when they kind of want to check in on these reports. And you just select when you want to receive that report. You can change the file format there. And then in that larger, that larger box, you'll enter each person's email one line at a time. So probably yourself first, and then whoever else would like to help you. And you can hit schedule report, and then that will automatically generate this data to you. So let's cancel out of here, Amanda. And then if you wanted to break it down even further, which is helpful as well, you can go to the top right. There's that view drop down all the way in the right corner. And you would change that from account view again is all of your machines. We're going to go to machine view. And then when we hit get report, it's going to give us a further breakdown. You can see each machine is listed here. And it'll give us the cash sales for that machine, the credit sales, the account sales, and then again, the total. So you can also automate this report in the same way that we just looked at. You just need to make sure you generate the report first, and then make sure you have that correct view. So whether you're trying to get all of the machines collective sales or the machine view, or what we're looking at, the breakdown. So you can automate that. That's really helpful. You don't have to come in and check it. You know, like I said, I think most schools will do like once a week. And that's nice to see for them. Now let's go to report, and let's go down to transactions. So we're breaking it down even more. It's about 5 down. Perfect. And so again, we're going to, let's manipulate the date here. We're going to go back to January, and then perfect. So go ahead and hit get report. Yes, include customer columns. She's ahead of the game here, you guys. I'll explain why that is important. And Alessandro, this is why I selected you guys to be our example, because you're accepting all of the tenders. So it is very important. I always include the customer columns checkbox there. That is important because it's going to generate the student ID. So in that pound column there, it shows the student ID that was used for each transaction. If you are, so let's say in the type, the transaction type, just to the left of that pound column, it says account, and then it shows the account number. If it says account and there's no student ID, it's going to be a credit card transaction. So the first, let's see, the first account one down there, it looks like the common snack left. Yeah, that is a credit card transaction because there's no student ID. So to try to, how do I make this simple? The credit card readers on these machines plug into what we call the MDB port, which was originally designed for college student accounts. And so it can't discern which kind of cashless payment it is. So it just says account, but if there's no student ID, we know that's a credit card purchase. So including the customer columns button is very helpful. I always use that one, especially like I said, if you're using credit. You can also use the export button, the yellow export button up there, to further filter this. You can put it to like an Excel sheet, and then you can get all of your credit transactions in one area, one spot. So it's just easier to see. Yep.
So I did this for somebody today, and I was just scrolling through to see if that person's on here. But so this is the best way that I tell people how to do this. So we're going to go ahead and export this transaction report here. And they said that the question was, how do I find all of my credit card sales to cross-check and make sure that what someone says I should have received in money is actually what I received in money, which is always a good thing to cross-check. Why is this mad at me? It was beeping at me. So the first way to do that is to do that export and to pull that up. We're now going to data sort the entire sheet, and we're going to sort the entire sheet by the number. Okay. Now I'm going to highlight all these rows with a student account number. Oh, I mean, they just do so many sales here.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, golly. Geez, you picked a good one, Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah, you could have picked someone new. So, gonna go back up a little bit. I know. This is a little cumbersome. Don't worry. Guess what? We're working on it, okay? So now I'm going to highlight this all again and do a sort. And this time I'm going to sort by type, okay? Well, this is great because now I have all of my account items. I'm going to scroll all the way down to where I have a break, and it goes from account to cash. Now I'll come here and I'm going to write a formula. Does everyone love Excel as much as I do? Equals the sum of this field to this field. Here's our current credit card transactions. Now, this is very important because this number, as I said before, does not include that 10-cent surcharge. So if you have that 10 cent going on there, this is that number outside of that. Additionally, we like this because we're also able to have our total cash sales. So now I got to find out what the last number is here. I'll just click this, close that parentheses, and finish that equation. So our total cash sales are $1,535. And this is great for when you are reconciling your money. So if you only have $1,000 in cash deposited from your vending sales for the month, Houston, we've got a problem. Hannah, tell us more about reports.
Beautiful. Apparently, if you have any questions, you can call Amanda. She'll help you. Get your Excel sheets going. Let's see if what else? Let's look at, so a lot of us have refrigerated units. So we're going to have health and safety alerts that may pop up if the temperature range is out. So let's go down to temperature log, Amanda. Perfect. And here we will select our date. We're just going to stick with that works, whatever. Click on the machine. You have to select a machine. So we always start with default account, default site, and then we're going with that first machine. We are in Fahrenheit here in the United States. And that will give us a beautiful graph at the top. And then you have your chart data. So the temperature ranges always fluctuate for different reasons, but if it gets above 40 degrees, it's going to alert you. Actually, we'll talk about next how to set those alerts up. But the machine, I believe, will actually not allow sales if the temperature range is out if it's out of range. It will not allow you to. We want to keep health and safety is first. But yeah, there's a pretty graph. We have all the information here. This is a good point of reference. Let's go to actually manage and then down to alert routing. And we're going to leave it at all users. And we're going to add a new routing role. So Amanda, click on default account there underneath. Yeah, perfect. So all of these are by default selected. I don't think we need to really touch that. Cigarettes, no.
Oh, here.
All of these by default are selected. I usually recommend just to leave them all on. If it doesn't apply to your machines, you're not going to get an alert for it. So for example, the printer communication error, we're not going to see anything there. We're not really printing out receipts for students. We don't have microwaves, you know, but the things that do matter, she has the health and safety violation there. Let's see, the door opened. So this is if someone opened the door without the key, that's going to alert you. So let's scroll down a little bit to all the way at the bottom. These are the emails. So let's put Dorothy.
No, let's put Jim Dillingham.
Jim, yeah. So Jim first is, yeah, we'll just leave it at primary. And then if you wanted to add another person, this is the first people that would be alerted. Okay, so we can escalate this if we go all the way to the right. And then when we scroll down, you can leave it at 15 minutes, or we could say if it's not resolved in 30 minutes, however you'd like to proceed, then we'll notify these people. So 24 hours, go ahead. Let's do it. So now we're going to get Cynthia involved, and Jim might be in trouble because he did not act on this. But yeah, so then it will just notify these people consecutively, but all of the people will get the email automatically if there is an issue with anything that pertains to your machines. So once you set all of those escalations, you can just hit create rule, and then they'll get that. So we can just return to list because we don't want to get anyone in trouble. And let's see, the other thing, again, this would be probably more for the people who are just starting out, getting everything set up, or maybe you have, new staff. So again, the more the merrier. Let's go to manage down to users. And so here we can see all of the current users that can log into the VendNovation website and access all of this information. They can make changes. In the top left of this chart here, it says insert. So when we click on that, it will allow us to add another user. So we'll just put in their name, their email will be their user name, and the user number is arbitrary, can be anything. And then user type, most schools leave it at admin. Admin is full access, obviously, so is general manager, but you can manipulate the user type there. Let's go to leave it at admin, Amanda, and then we'll go to the top right is the yellow button that says edit privileges. So when we click on this, we can change the access that certain people have. Maybe you want someone to just access reporting. You don't want them to change prices or anything. You could use those custom all the way at the right, so custom profiles, or you can just general manager usually should have full access, but it just depends, what you want to give that person. How much do you trust them? But yeah, so again, most schools leave that as admin, but that's up to you. It's nice to know you can change that. And then once you are finished with all of that, you can select update in all the way to the left there. And that will generate an email to that person, giving them a temporary login password and they can change that once they get in, or you could just save it, whatever you would like. And then you'll just be able to come in here and do all of your fun things. So I think that's kind of it. That kind of wraps.
Hannah, you were so nervous about this, and I would like everyone to just give Hannah a silent round of applause because she was super nervous. And I said, Hannah, this is what you do all day. So
Yeah,
Hannah, you did a great job.
Thank you.
While we're waiting for guys, question and answer is totally open. We answered a lot of your questions while we were talking, but if you have any more questions, please put those in the chat, put them in the Q&A. I'll turn my camera on. I will tell you, if you'd like to know more about your hardware, we do have a phenomenal training coming up, and I see some of our training graduates on this call. We do have a phenomenal training coming up in March. We still have a couple of slots left. Now, I will tell you this, it is a fantastic training, and I don't just say this because I made it. Well, I did make it, so it is fantastic. This is all of the things that you need to know. We took everything that a technician that comes to fix your machines is going to need to know from in the field. We threw away everything that has nothing to do with K-12, and then we put in some great content that is appropriate for our school nutrition professionals. Hannah, Carlos says you did great.
Thank you, Carlos.
This training is located in lovely Des Moines, Iowa in March, and everyone is welcome to attend. I will put the link somewhere in the chat in a minute. I will tell you guys, this is absolutely phenomenal. It is a fantastic training. Whether you have 2 machines and you're a rural district, or if you're just like me and you were cheap and you didn't want to pay $200 for a service call, because you and I both know as soon as you call the plumber, there goes $200. He hasn't even touched a thing. Same thing with your vending machines, right? Time is money. This registration fee, you guys, the only thing I do with that registration fee is give it back to you. I give you some great tools that you need to add to your toolbox, specifically for your vending machines, and we do give you some spare parts that are important. There is a couple of things that are normal wear and tear that are going to go in your unit in the first year or two. We're going to give those to you there. We do have lunch and dinner included because we all know how tight those school district budgets are. And yeah, come on by. So we'd love to have you in Des Moines. We are doing this training twice a year, once in March and once in October. And I can say that 100% of the people who attended our training in October said that they would recommend it to someone. So it's definitely worthwhile. You touch the machine, you take apart a whole tray. I have different stations. You have to do different things to graduate. So it's very exciting. So I will put the link over there. I will put the link in there. One of our graduates is being silly because I do give you a present when you log in, when you check into your hotel, but I can't tell you what that is. But I can say, folks, that yes, this one of the questions is this being recorded? And I can say, yes, it is being recorded, Hannah. So you can show your mom and your dad and all your friends how great of a job that you did today. And for folks to share with colleagues, you will receive a 1 CEU credit, and I will be sending that out afterwards. And What other questions do all you lovely people have? What questions? Any questions? I'm going to put this in the chat. This is the link to our next piece. Now I'm going to ask you folks, what do you want to see next? You know, like, what do you want to see next? We have some great ideas of what we'd like to show you in our Vending Excellence series. But if anyone has any suggestions as to what you guys would like to see, we would love to hear that. We love sharing different district specialties. This was the first one, Hannah, in our 2024 season. As some of you know that are older clients, our business has continued to get bigger and bigger as people understand what an excellent idea adding vending to your program is. Because what are we always, everyone saying? We've got no staff, right? We need to access the kids where they are. So please let us know how we can be helpful to you guys in the field, because your success is our success. Okay. Bridget says, we had a student force open our vending machine. Will you show me how to set an alert to be notified if the door is opened without a key? Okay. I'm going to take down this lovely screen. Did everyone screenshot all of our contact information? This is my cell phone number. I believe this is Hannah's office phone number, guys. Okay. So just remember who loves you more. Okay. It's Vend-ucation. I will say, Bridget, let's take a look at that. That's again going to be in manage and alert routing. Hannah, don't tell me. And then all users view.
Add new routing role.
Add new routing role. Okay. So that would be right here, unexpected door open, right, Hannah?
Yep.
So whoever this individual is, you're going to want to go in here and make sure that all of these things are checked and that. And I can tell you, yes, students are naughty. Paula asks if we are going to do the training in New York. Paula, we are not going to do the training in New York. Let me tell you why. Because Des Moines, Iowa is where we make our machines. And where we make our machines is where we're going to train you. You are going to get to do a factory tour, which was everyone's favorite part of the training, to actually see how the steel comes off the railroad at the front entrance and goes out the back door as a vending machine. So it's pretty awesome. And they have all our machines that we just have for training. So we can take them all apart so we can put them all back together. I think we answered. Oh, Betsy, great question. Guys, I know we're over. It's 4 o'clock. Okay, ready? When we get the new machine, do you kind of have a document on what to do step by step? Yes, we do. We have a document. Jim's not on the call. That's very good. He hates this document, you guys. And he hates this document because he calls it the Candyland document, because he says it looks like Candyland. And I said, but everyone understands it and it works. And what this is here's our Candyland setup documentation, depending on kind of what you get for features. So you've got Vend-ucation. Hi, that's us. Hardware. VendNovation. That's Hannah with our software department. So us two together equal your point of sales. So here is all of this color coded as to who does what in the setup process. And we will help you move along this line. If you get stuck, you call me or you call Brad, who's our head of installation, and we will get you unstuck, because we know where you are, and we will find out where you are in this process and then who you need. If you need Hannah, if you need a contact at the point of sale, I had someone doing a setup with this point of sale person, and that person said, I've never set up a vending for our point of sale. And I said, well, that is not the person you want to talk to. So we got them in touch with someone who is well versed in setting up the vending application within that point of sale. So that's great. People are asking for contact information again, and I'm happy to provide that, which is over here. So here is our contact information again. Can some of the point of sale setup be done prior to delivery? Yes, and we encourage that, Hannah, don't we?
Yes,
There's nothing
absolutely.
worse than your machines getting to you and just sitting there. When the machines get to you, we want you to turn them on and be serving your kiddos. We absolutely encourage, and if you follow our emails, and for anyone who I told to contact your point of sale at the beginning of February, it's the beginning of February. Contact your point of sales, get your vending license, get that configuration started so that you can get these off and running as soon as they hit your district. So please do all of that. But folks, this has been an incredible 60 minutes. Hannah, you did a fantastic job. We will absolutely have you again. Now, everyone has your information. They're able to contact you for anything. And I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us today. This has been a wonderful, wonderful webinar, VendNoWhat, as part of our Vending Excellence series. Thank you all for attending and have a wonderful day.